Well, welcome back to another Lazy Sunday. Today we're going to be looking at this, which is like a DIY game kit. I don't know exactly what it's going to be like. I've seen some pictures. It looks kind of cool. So thank you very much to whoever bought this. Let's get started. So we've got a nice big old PCB. It's very thick. We've got an STC microcontroller, the 15F2K60S2 possibly. We've got one of these 3-digit 7-segment displays, and on the other side we have these 8x8 LED matrices. What else do we have? It doesn't seem to be a high component count here. We've got a USB cable. I've got a screw. It looks like we're going to be screwing something down. Oh, there's some standoffs. There's no case. Big old button. There's probably several of those. God, there really isn't a high component count here, is there? So yeah, we've got some standoffs, some screws, a USB connector, and a clicky button, a little piezo buzzer thing, and a capacitor, and that is it. Wow, this won't take all that long, will it? So let's have a figure out of what we're going to put in first. I think the button's probably going to go in first, or maybe the USB connector actually. Yeah, perhaps the USB connector first, and then the buttons, and then the capacitor, and then everything else, I guess. So USB connectors over here. Okay, let's get that in. I'm assuming it goes on the top. Maybe, it doesn't quite fit. Oh, we've got some little pins here. Let me show you. So this little USB connector's got these pins, and one of them appears to be a little bit bent, and so it won't go into that socket. So let's see if we can't bend it back. There we go. Let's see if we can get it in that socket now. There we go. That's worked out. Right, we'll solder this down. So this kit should have a Tetris game on there, and I think also Snake, but I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out, I guess. It's fairly inexpensive. It was only about £7, so I'll put a link in the description where you can find one. It looks like it's going to be quite fun. These are all red LEDs though, I think, and I think I'd kind of like it if it was a different colour. I don't like red LEDs very much. Right, so let's get some of these buttons on. Where do they all go? Just down here, it looks like. Okay. Just sort of check some of the pins and make sure they're not misaligned. Yeah, that one's not going in. There we go, that's all of those in. Let's get them soldered up. I'll just do one pin on each one and then turn it over and have a quick look and see if it's appropriately stuck down. Right, that should be one on each one. Yeah, they look like they're all seated correctly. I do hope this is the right way to do this. I hope it isn't meant to be all done on this side of the board, or the components mounted on this side of the board. So I've been playing with those battery chargers. Well, one of them, the BTC 3100, and it's kind of cool. There are some quirks to it, I have to admit. It isn't perfect, and I think one of the channels isn't really reading correctly, but we'll investigate that in another video. When I say investigate, I just mean look at it, because I'm no expert when it comes to these things, but I do like the idea of being able to charge and discharge batteries. Okay, done. What's next? Two other buttons here. Let's get those in. Okay. I have yet to try out the 5500 milliamp hour or megaamp hour battery that someone pointed out. It does have a capital M on there. I've yet to try that one out, but I suspect it's going to be about 550 milliamp hours. So 10 times less than the stated capacity. It's very light as well, that battery. Not that that's particularly an indication of its capacity, but I think it helps. Right, so we've got those in there. Let's come out a little bit. Right, next, we've got a big old clicky button, but I think I'll leave that to last because it looks like it's probably the tallest component. Let's get the little display in, and also we'll get the IC holder in too, I think. Actually, the IC holder is going to be a bit shorter, so let's do that first. And we need to put it that way just so that we can make sure we get it right. There we go. This is standing fairly stably there, so I think I can just do the one and then have a quick look. Let's just push that in a little bit. Might have to do another one. Do that one there, and then push this in again. There we are. I love these. Like, soldering these is a bit of a dream. It's just so easy. He says, struggling on one pin. I should probably just clean my iron a little bit. These STC micros are fairly prolific in kits that you get from China. It makes me wonder why people don't use them here in like hobby projects. I don't know how you're meant to program them, but I assume there must be fairly convenient methods to program them. And I assume they're very cheap microcontrollers. This one's got a ton of pins on it. It is that double wide package, though, which is a little bit annoying. Well, there's a couple there that look a little bit anemic. Well, they all do, to be honest, but I imagine that's because the solder's flowed inside, so that's okay. Next, let's pop this thing in. We've got some bent pins here, So we're going to have to bend those back out. Not too bad though. So we've got the dots on the front here so that we can put this on the right way. Yeah, we're going to have to jimmy those a bit. But that's okay, it's just a matter of gingerly teasing that rod through. Rod, it's not really a rod, is it? So let's get one pin soldered and then we'll align the rest of it. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice that. We've got a different amount of pins on here. So you've got, what is that, 6 at the top and 5 at the bottom. Interesting. I've never noticed that on those 7-segment displays before. God, it's really echoey in here today. Well, try and get on the pin there, David. There we are. Now I'm not going to cut any of the legs off these. I'm just going to leave it as is. We've got standoffs, so and I'm also doing it on a mat, so it doesn't matter. Right, the chip is going to be the last thing that we put in, but let's get this switch in. And we'll get... Well, that does not want to go in. Is it misaligned? There we are. We get the capacitor in as well. 220 it says there, and this is 220. So I assume that's to cope with the large current draw, to sort of reduce the ripple down, I guess. So voltage will sag a bit when all those LEDs come on. Now, does this have a positive? Yes, it does. I don't know if you can see it, but just up here there's a little positive symbol and a positive symbol down here. There we go. Let's get those soldered in. I'm excited. This one's so easy. I thought it would be a bit more involved than this, but clearly not. Let's clean that iron again. There we are. Everything looks like it's fairly well aligned. We will cut these legs off, I think. Right. Then we need to put our displays in, which I probably should have done before I put that button in, if I'm honest. Never mind. Now, which way do these go in? Is there any kind of indication? Well, there are some arrows here pointing towards a notch. There's no such notch that I can see. Oh, is there anything you guys can see? The only thing I can see is that there's some numbers and letters on one side. but no notch. Why is there no pin 1 indicator? Right, I'm just going to go and Google this, just so it's a lot of pins to take out if I get it wrong. Well, my eyes must be failing me because there is actually a notch. Let me show you. So just on the top there, you can see a little nubbin. And I think that's what the drawing down there is referring to. What the devil's that stuff called? Solder mask? Silk screen. There's a little square bit. So I think that's what it's referring to, and we're just going to assume that that's correct. So we'll pop these in with the square bit facing down. And I've bent a pin. That was clever. Please don't break. Let's try that again. I didn't even put that much force on it. Yeah, I can see some not very well aligned. There we go. That is better. Now they're not going to hold in very well, so we're just going to have to do one pin and then readjust it. I did a quick Google search, and the suggestions for finding pin 1 on the matrices, I don't know what you're going to say, were either look for the writing and then with that facing you, that's pin 1, or look for a notch, or if you look under the epoxy, sometimes you can see pin numbers marked in there. All right, that one's now aligned. And that one is 2. So let's just get an opposing pin done, and then we'll just push it again. Yep. Yeah, perfectly fine, good. Right, we'll rock it through these with a clean iron. No flux, you'll notice this time. This board is fairly clean. So I think I mentioned my eyesight just now. I've actually become a little bit more concerned with my eyes recently. I've noticed that one eye, if I shut one eye, in fact, what is it, my left eye? Yeah, my left eye. If I shut my left eye, my right eye is pretty sharp with close-up detail. But my left eye, if I just have my right eye closed, my left eye it's a little bit blurry. So both my eyes are compensating. Well, the right eye is compensating for the left eye, and I think it's sort of giving me headaches. So I need to go and get my eyes checked at some point. I did a very long time ago, so God, maybe 8 years ago, have my eyes tested, and they were okay. One eye was 0.5 or something like that. So I need to go again, I think. Right, that should be that. Let's get this IC in. Do we need to roll you? Or are you already done? Yeah, needs to be rolled a little. God, it's a lot easier with these big chips to roll the pins. Right, these big suckers, it's so easy to not notice when you've bent a pin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and roll that one more time. Let's just check them all. Yeah, they look good. That side. Okay, so I just didn't do a very good job at rolling this, did I? Still. Right. Just check I'm not pushing a pin in the wrong way. That all looks good. Yeah, okay, it's time to power this sucker up, isn't it? Are we going to put the standoffs on? Yeah, let's do the standoffs. It should be fairly easy. I'm going to go and get a USB thing as well. Oh, screw it, I'm just going to use this thing. Okay, let's get it turned on. So, power cable. I haven't taken the plastic film off. I don't know if that's going to annoy anyone. And hopefully I put the connector on the right way. Oh my God. Look at that. Shall I make this a bit brighter? Now how I'm going to do that? Like that. That's good enough, isn't it? So I have no idea. We've got X and square and then, oh, it's like, what, like Space Invader? Unfortunately, my power bank kept switching off, so we're coming back to this. So we've got what looks like Tetris on the first one. We've got Snake on the second one. The third one looks like, what is it, Conway's Game of Life or something maybe? Oh no, that's is that a person there? And that a person? Oh, I think it's a car racing game. I'm not sure. This is like Space Invaders or something. This one I haven't got a clue about, just some numbers. I don't know what that is. Oh, this is settings, isn't it? So this is, what is that, brightness? Yes, that's brightness. I thought it looked a bit rude. This is sound on and off. Up and down doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, so what is that, F? And then noise? Full. Yeah, I don't know. We'll turn it on. That's it then. So let's have a look. Maybe this is high scores. I don't really understand what I'm doing here. That doesn't make any sense. What? I have no idea. What? Right, someone will have to tell me what that is. I don't know. So let's play this one. What? That is a cool effect, isn't it? There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of challenge here. Okay, I can see how it gets challenging. And so this is our score up here, I guess. Yeah, looks like it. Actually, I didn't look at what that did on the other game. What's happening now? Okay. It says 97. Let's try this out. I haven't got a clue. No. No, I haven't got a clue what that is. So let's go to Tetris. Yeah, I want to get at least one line here. So he's got 1 point for that. Oh, we've got a long one. Where am I going to put that? Probably over here. And that one can come round one like that. Oh, I messed that up. I wanted to come over here with that one. That can go straight down. You can go there as well. That there. Well, that's not what I wanted to happen at all. No. Oh, crumbs. Okay. Well, let's... Oh. That's it now. Game over. Right, let's see what's next. So this is Snake, so this isn't going to be too difficult. God, it's loud. That's horrible. I'm putting my finger over that. Oh, so if you run into the side of the wall, it doesn't scroll across. That's interesting. And then what is the... Oh, it is a car game, isn't it? They look like people. And so we're just getting a running score. So if you crash into something, it just ends the game. What else? That is it. Well, that is a nice little kit. That's kind of fun to build, and I reckon if you were someone that would be sated by games like this, I mean, I play games on my PC, so this isn't that thrilling, but what an awesome bit of kit. I'm kind of impressed with it. Well, thank you very much. That has been another lazy Sunday.